my name is Kinga, and today we're going to be cooking a 3-course meal using the Minecraft cookbook. Technically this is going to be a 4-part video because I wanted to include something from all of the categories in the cookbook, but the 4th category is just drinks, so it's still technically a 3-course meal. For our appetizer, we'll be making baked potato bites. For main course, we'll be making warped forest flatbread pizza. For our dessert, we'll be making cocoa chunk cookies. And for our drink, we'll be making this potion of night vision. I am going to be sort of walking you through how to do the recipes, but I don't want to give you everything exactly because I don't want the Minecraft people to get mad at me for redistributing their recipes. Just kidding, we're making glazed terracotta cookies for dessert because someone ate all of our chocolate chips. The recipe calls for 12, but I'm just a girl. I can't eat 12 potatoes. And these are pretty big potatoes, so we're doing 3. My oven is preheating 375. I rinsed, scrubbed, and dried these bad boys, and now we're gonna toss them with oil and salt. Now my potatoes are on a lined baking sheet. They're all oiled up, and you're gonna stick them in the oven for like 25 to 30 minutes, or until they're soft enough to easily slice. Now we're just gonna let these cool for 15 minutes. I left them in the oven for honestly about 45 minutes. I think they're soft enough now. My potatoes are definitely bigger than the ones pictured in the book, so I think that's why they needed longer. We'll hope they're good. Now that our potatoes have cooled for approximately 15 minutes, because I maybe possibly forgot to check what time I took them out, we're gonna cut the tops off and scoop their innards out. Oh, hot potato, oh my god. Prophecy. It's being foretold. Okay, I'm calling that good enough. We scoop the innards. Okay, clearly I should have made more than 3 because the potato scooping process was more difficult and fragile than I was prepared for. I don't know if I should have baked them a little longer so they were softer, but like I said, they'd already been in for a good like 10 minutes longer than the recipe suggested. So this is my like only sort of nice looking one. But it's fine. Time to make the filling with the potato guts. So we're adding melted butter. Now we're just mashing them like mashed potatoes. I definitely feel like this should have been cooked longer. I really don't think these are mashed enough at this point, but we really just have to ride with what we got. It's too late to put it back in the potato. Now I'm going to be measuring my cheddar cheese with my heart. I believe the recipe calls for half a cup. As I was doing that, it occurred to me it called for half a cup for 12 potatoes. It's fine. Now adding a scoop of sour cream. I'm tossing in my minced chives, some pepper, and the recipe calls for, camera angle. And the recipe calls for bacon bits, but I don't eat red meat, so we're not doing that. Mixy. I have mixed it. I was supposed to put salt in there, and I didn't. Oops. We put the filling back into our potatoes, which I don't know how well it's gonna go since my potatoes are falling apart. But that's what we're gonna do. My hands are clean. I've washed them like 19 times today. It says to overfill a little bit. My camera battery died while I was stuffing the potatoes, but they're back in the tray because once we're ready to eat them, we're gonna sprinkle some more cheese on them, stick in the oven for a couple minutes to melt the cheese and brown the tops. I'll be honest, while I was stuffing them, I was thinking, I don't know if I can recommend this recipe because it's kind of a lot of work and I have so much leftover filling. Like I could have filled a whole other potato, but then I ate some of the extra filling. It's delicious, okay? It's worth it. It's kind of a lot of work. You gotta bake the potatoes longer than the recipe actually calls for, but the filling is really good. So for our main course, we're going to be making that flatbread, warped forest flatbread, and the entire recipe is from scratch, including the sauce, which is what we're gonna do first. So we need our peeled tomatoes. The recipe says to use the whole 28-ounce can, so that's what I'm doing. Now it says to crush these into a chunky sauce. Honestly, it's kind of already a chunky sauce, but I'm just gonna use a potato masher to mash it. Now we're whisking in salt and olive oil, just like with our potatoes earlier. Now that we have our sauce, we're going to stick it in the fridge until we're ready to use it. Time to make flatbread dough. As per usual, I'm measuring the salt with my heart. I will also be measuring the rosemary with my heart. Is this the correct kind of rosemary? I don't entirely know. It just said dried rosemary, and this is what we had in our spice cupboard. So that's what I'm using. Flour, flour, and flour. Now we do the mixy. We kept your olive oil out because we need it again. Creator of this cookbook loves olive oil a lot, considering it isn't in Minecraft. I am actually going to measure this because I know oil is kind of a temperamental part of dough. A tablespoon and a half. And my warm water. Now the jewelry has come off for this because we're supposed to mix it with our hands. I kind of hate this part because it feels so icky sticky, but I'm gonna mixy. She has been mixy. She is now more or less a dough. Dump her out on the counter. Knead her until smooth. Don't know why I'm calling the dough a her. She's ready. I've washed my hands 3 more times. Now we are supposed to roll the dough into an oval about 8 by 16 inches, I think is what it said. I don't remember. This is gonna take some elbow grease. I'll be back. I've been rolling this for like 5 minutes and it's just not getting any longer. And I'm really worried that I've overworked the dough at this point. We're just gonna have to live with the fact that it's not 16 by 8, it's more like 12 by 8. I'm gonna pizza cut it so that it looks a little nicer. Good enough. So now that our dough is ready and our oven is preheated, we're gonna pull the pan out. Can't remember if I actually told you were supposed to preheat the pan in the oven or not, but now you know. My God, it is roasty toasty in there. Now we're supposed to, oh, I'm making a mess. Now we're supposed to sprinkle the tray with cornmeal. This is to prevent the dough from sticking, I'm guessing. That was a great camera angle you had. Now we're gonna put the dough on there. I hope you could see that past me. I don't know if you could, but now we stick in the oven for 5 to 7 minutes until the edges are golden brown. But keep a close eye on it because that oven is hot. It's set until the edges are golden brown but not fully cooked. I don't know if this is right. It's only been like 4 minutes. I'm gonna turn my oven down a little bit. Maybe 550 was overestimated. I don't know, but we're gonna put toppings on it. The recipe does call for specific toppings, but mainly it's focused around mushrooms because this is supposed to be the warped forest. But I'm a mushroom hater, and Mum Gov, who's helping me eat this 3-course meal, is also a mushroom hater. So I'll cue a time lapse of me putting on my preferred toppings, and then I'll show you a list of the toppings that the book actually calls for. Now it says to brush the edge with olive oil. Inchios for 6 to 8 minutes, but I'm guessing it's gonna be more like 3 to 4. I've learned the smell of burnt cornmeal is very upsetting. Now I'm gonna sprinkle shredded Parmesan on it. That's what the recipe says to do. For the glazed terracotta cookies, you will need 1 cup of butter, which you are going to beat in that bowl. Then you are going to add your white sugar and mixy again. Now I'm going to toss in an egg and some vanilla. And we mixy again. Now you need to get a separate bowl to mix your dry ingredients in. Baking powder, not baking soda. They're different. The recipe calls for salt, but my butter was salted, so I will not be adding that in. And of course, the flour, flour, flour. Mixy mixy. And this is the part where we all ignore the fact I made a mess. Oh, look! Then you bring your big bowl back in, and make sure you have your mixer out because we are going to whoop, mix these together. Wow! Now, to be honest, this dough seems a little dry to me, but I'm following the directions, so I've never made this before. The cookbook has the word official on the front. How could it be wrong? I don't know, but now separate this into as many bowls as equal to the amount of colors you want. Realistically, there's not a chance on earth I'm gonna make these actually look like real in-game glazed terracotta. I'm just gonna go wild. Say hello to my little bowls. It's so powdery this doesn't feel right, but I'm trusting the process. This video is making so many dishes. So now I have 7 bowls. Not entirely sure what I'm doing. I need to look at a picture of glazed terracotta. Yeah, so looking at a picture didn't help. There's no way I'm recreating a pattern here. Like I said before, we're just gonna have fun with it. See what happens. I don't even know what colors of food dye I have. We've got 2 packs of neon and a pack of normal. Let's see what we can make. Cue time lapse. And end time lapse because this is not working. How am I supposed to color this dough? It's too dry. Minecraft. Maybe if I add a little bit of water so the dough's not as dry. This is gonna take too long for a time lapse. Cut away, cut away. All right, I just got a great hand and upper forearm workout kneading all of this dough. I just added a couple drops of water to each of them and then I dumped them out on the counter, kneaded it like bread dough, which is why this one looks like I gripped it, because I did. And then I left this one white. So, that took a long time, but now we have everything to make blue, green, and pink terracotta cookies. I'll be honest, I don't entirely understand the instructions in the recipe book. I think I'm supposed to make them into rectangular prisms, then you wrap them, refrigerate them, and chop them. So we're gonna try and do that. Okay, it says to roll it into cylinders. My dough isn't really rolling very well. It's just getting manhandled. It does not roll. Like it'll roll a little bit and then it just crumbles. So maybe I went astray by adding the water. Maybe it's my fault for using food dye, not food gel. I don't know. But I'm gonna try my best. I figure as long as I make colorful squares that taste somewhat good, then I have succeeded. Oh, this one's rolling a little bit better than the pink one was, actually. It's still not great, but it's definitely better. I have the pink log. I'm gonna wrap it in saran wrap and put it in the fridge. I'm pressing it a little bit because it's definitely more of a rectangle than a square. I'm trying to make it a little more square, hopefully, maybe, possibly. Green time. Don't know what I'm doing. I only had one pattern in mind. We'll see how this goes, you know? My apologies if the camera randomly gets bumped. My dog is currently wearing a cone, and she's unaware of how that affects her size. Spackle and patchwork, 2 key parts of baking. I feel like this is probably not how the chef of this cookbook intended this to go, but cooking with canned goods, baby. Again, kind of pressing it because it's not really a square here. I think I'm getting better at this. That's completely pointless because I'm never going to do this again, most likely. Unless these are the best sugar cookies I've ever tasted, then wrap it up. Can you see this? Absolutely not. I hate saran wrap. Here's what we have to work with. It literally looks like Play-Doh. I hope these taste good. I'm manhandling this dough so much. Anyways, Frankenlog, let's get it. Okay, my oven is preheating at 350. I have not wax paper on my baking tray. Time to cut them and find out if they look at all decent. This is our Franken one. Maybe we'll do that one last because we have low expectations for it. How do I do this so you can see it, but I don't accidentally cut myself? There we go. Well, it's not exactly, oh, you can't even see what I'm showing you. It's not exactly the checkerboard I was expecting, but honestly it almost looks more like glazed terracotta. It's like a flower. It's like a flower. This is what we sort of got going on with the pink ones. Variety. Next, this one is the least rectangular. It's got a rather caterpillar vibe to it. I think that look okay. Not super square, but they're kind of pretty actually. The weird end piece off first. This one is definitely the best. Okay, this one's definitely the most consistent. I was definitely improving by the time we got to this one. Still not super square. First one was still the squarest, but that's a pretty clean pattern. Now it's time for our Frankenlog. Not super square, doesn't look anything like terracotta, but if I brought these to a tie-dye party, I'd be the queen of the ball. Now that I've made way too many dirty dishes, it's time to finally make our potion of night vision, which is a smoothie. So we're literally just gonna chuck all the ingredients in there and hope it tastes good. Going to be honest, I'm measuring all of these ingredients with my heart. It's fine. I did it! I cooked a 3-course meal for the Minecraft cookbook, including a beverage. I've done it. Do you like my fancy spread for the thumbnail? Most of the food is cold by now, I'm gonna be honest. Luckily the drink is a smoothie. Okay, we've already tried the cookies because I actually baked them yesterday. Let's try these. Okay, I did also try the filling of the potato and it was so good, but let's do the flatbread before it gets any colder. I don't love the tomato sauce, but I'm not the biggest tomato person. I think Mom Gov is going to love this when she gets home and tries it. The dough is really good. The crust, whatever you want to call it, is actually really good though. Obviously, I put on my preferred toppings. If this had mushrooms on it, I would hate it. It is what it is. Let's try the drink. Cheers to night vision. Hang on. I mean, I've sipped it 3 times, so obviously it's not terrible, but like, the texture is questionable. It needs a whipped cream on top, I personally think. I think it tastes okay, but the texture is a little odd for some reason. I'll stab a potato. Definitely would have been better warm, obviously. It's like room temperature at this point. The ratings, let's talk about the ratings, people. Please follow me. This took so much work. Like this video, comment on it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, go follow my Twitch, and then, most importantly, take the link to this video and send it in every single Minecraft SMP Discord you're in. If you're in a Minecraft server, send them the link. Okay, let's talk about the other kind of ratings now. Appetizer, potatoes. I'm gonna give it a like 8 out of 10 for taste. 7 out of 10 for accuracy to Minecraft, because there is a potato that you bake. Obviously this is fancier. They couldn't just put a plain baked potato in the recipe book. That would be a waste of our money. Then as far as easiness to prepare, I'm gonna give it like a 5, because it really wasn't that difficult to prepare. But the scooping was kind of hard, and the scooping was very pointless. This is clearly an aesthetics thing. You could definitely just make mashed potatoes and mix in the chive, sour cream, and cheese, which I will definitely be doing because this filling is delicious. Flatbread, taste, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because I really don't like the sauce. But I did put my own toppings on. It would be like a 1 if I put the mushrooms on. I hate mushrooms. Texture. I did also put chicken on this, by the way, so there is protein in my meal. But the crust is better than expected. The dough is so tough that I was worried, but it's actually good. Accuracy to Minecraft, freaking 0. Could have got a 1 out of me if I put the mushrooms on, or a 2. You could have got a 2 out of me. If I put the mushrooms on, it could have been a 2. Easiness to prepare, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 situation. Because rolling out the dough, I could not get it to roll any further than this. I literally like yanked on it with my hands and I couldn't get it any flatter than this. Also, I have about half a can worth of tomato sauce left. It said you'll have a little extra. I have a lot extra. I didn't even use half of the sauce on this. Terracotta cookies. Taste-wise, give them a 9. They taste like a sugar cookie. My mother ate about a dozen of these yesterday. She loved them. So 9. Accuracy to Minecraft. There are cookies in Minecraft. If I was more talented, I could have made them look like glazed terracotta, but I can't. That's on me. So I'm gonna give them like a 7, 6, 7 situation. And then easiness to make. 2, 3. 2 or 3. If you were just making sugar cookies with these, if you weren't trying to make them look fancy, it would be like a 10. It's so easy to make sugar cookies. But trying to make them patterned and also having to mix all of these separate colors was kind of annoying. Last but not least, Beveragino. Taste. I'm hitting like just a middle of the road 5. It doesn't taste bad, but the texture's kind of off-putting. And I'm just not the biggest carrot fan. It almost tastes like a carrot cake smoothie. So I think it needed some whipped cream. Accuracy to Minecraft. If we pretend that the potion of night vision tastes like carrots, then we could probably hit this with a solid 6. Is potion of night vision orange? Potion of night vision. Show me if it's orange. Ooh, it's green. So I get what they were going for by using carrots, because carrots are supposed to help your vision. They should have thrown some like spinach, something to make it green. Then it'd be more accurate. So I'm gonna drop it down to like a 5. A 5 under the assumption that a night vision potion tastes like carrots, even though it's green. A 5 for Minecraft accuracy, easiness to make, 10. You literally just chuck all of the ingredients in the blender. I even left an ingredient out because it turned out we didn't have it. Maybe that's the difference. Maybe if this had ginger in it, I would have magically loved it. Seems unlikely because the texture's my problem.
Obviously, I did not teach you these things on the left side, and I put on the right side. The blade always faces in or out, because that's a threat to the person beside you. So
Maybe that's the normal.
it faces in.
Minecraft, you have a sword.
Yes. The smoothie had a nice subtle flavor. I like the flatbread. I like the fact that the flatbread tastes good on its own.
Yeah, the crust.
Yeah, the crust is tasty all on its own. And then, yeah, with the toppings, my goodness, I don't need to buy flatbread anymore. You're just gonna make it.
Okay. We have a lot of the sauce left, so we're gonna have to do something.
Excellent. No, I thought that was quite good. And I did also enjoy the stuffed potatoes as well.
I don't have an outro. Bye.